Welcome to another In Wheel Time podcast. Better late than never, as they say, ladies and gentlemen. It's all my fault this morning. Hey, from Studio A in Texas, USA, welcome to In Wheel Time, your all things automotive car talk show. On today's 2-hour program, we're going to take a look at road racing. From the SCCA and weekend warriors to drivers, owners, race tires, we talk about all of it. We also have new vehicle reviews of the Nissan Armada SUV, a big honkin' SUV, and the Chevy Silverado pick-em-up truck. We'll also have our weekly Ram Tracks and Jeep Trails features, along with this week's automotive news. We'll have those stories and more just ahead on another jam-packed 2-hour edition of In Wheel Time, the car show, today for Saturday, June 13th, 2020. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world, Mars, and King Conrad DeLong. I'm Don Armstrong. So glad that you could join us today, and thank you very much. And pardon my button pushing over here, because obviously all the best laid plans of mice and men all went awry when Don Armstrong got involved.
Yeah, we're all in trouble because we're not ready, and then when we're ready, Don forgot to push a button.
No, I pushed the button the wrong way. God. It never fails to amaze me, all of the wonderful things that I managed to screw up in this life. And you know, the older that I get,
The more you do.
yeah, or at least the more I realize I do.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Because it used to be that I was told all the time by everybody, and you know who I'm talking about.
Me, Mars,
No, I was
and
thinking
the other three.
And the other three. The other three wives.
But now that you're taking Prevagen, you remember some of it.
What? No, there's none of that. Well, let's start off. Let's get going on our road racing venture today. And we're going to start off with the king of Houston SCCA and Apex Motor Works, Mr. Richard Tomlin. And he is on with us right now. Richard, it's great to see you, and thanks so much for putting up with our junk that we've got going on at the beginning of the show.
It's always an adventure with you guys.
It truly is, and we really appreciate you joining us, and thanks so much. So we wanted to start off and kind of give everybody an overview of SCCA. You know, SCCA has been around for centuries. Well, maybe not centuries, but certainly decades. And we've all
1944.
heard 1944. And so we've all heard of SCCA, Sports Car Club of America, but I've only been to one SCCA event, because this is kind of a thing that most people, I don't think, really are that familiar with. Now, obviously, the weekend warriors, your kind, know all about SCCA. So a brief overview, if you will, of what SCCA does.
Okay, so SCCA, we hold events, and let's just specifically address the Houston region, which is one of 13 jumbo regions in the U.S. We've got over 1,000 members in Houston alone. Now, these members, we participate in things from road rally events to rallycross to what we consider an autocross. We do road racing, we do time trials, we do track sprints. Each one of these are elements that have specific disciplines, specific cars that can be built for them so that you perform better than the rest. But we have events that you can show up with your kids in a road rally and run with them, all the way to where your kids may be doing tire changes for you at the SCCA Road Race Club level. So it's a vast array of what you can do car-wise. Autocross, of course, is one most people are familiar with. I would say that Good Guys has made that quite popular. Optimus Streetcar Challenge, which is a large parking lot. We're blessed in Houston with some of the largest parking lots in the country. So we have some pretty quick courses. We run a lot down at Gulf Greyhound Park, Grand Sports Speedway over in Hitchcock, Police Academy before they closed with COVID. But we'll have between 100 and 150 people that show up to play and run around these cones, and you're trying to get a better time than the next guy.
Can I take Mom's Buick Skylark, and you can find a category and a race for me on a weekend?
There are categories for everything, even some of the home-built stuff, which is what makes it so welcoming to everybody.
So
Show up, pass the general tech inspection, and you're ready to go play.
So this could actually be a training ground for your child, if you will, as a first-time driver. Obviously, you'd have to get, I assume, some sort of a license and some instructor or somebody riding along with you. Am I correct?
They're right. There are junior programs, but once you've got a driver's license, we pretty much trust you to go out there. We got a rookie program you would go through and actually teach you. We also hold 2 rookie schools every year, which is also brought to you by Tire Rack, which we'll be talking to a little bit later today, but is Street Survival. And it is a driving school that is geared at basically first-time drivers, 6 months to a year of driving experience. And then we bring you out, teach you what ABS braking is, teach you what the pedal is supposed to feel like, teach you how to steer while you're heavy on the brakes, and actually use the weight of the car to direct the car where you want to go. This is one of the bigger things that we do to try and give back to some of the teen drivers around the country.
So, Richard, let's use my 2001 Corvette as a starting point here for us, just for conversation's sake. So I've only been to one autocross event in my entire life. I'm not familiar with road racing. I know I've seen it work with cones in a parking lot. I'm interested. I've never been, so I am green as the St. Augustine grass right now. And so how would I start going to an SCCA event? Would I have to sign up, get a license? What do I need?
It is literally just a process of signing up online, which is going to be houscca.com. And you sign up there for the next event. Our next one is June 20th. We're catching up, making up some events after all the COVID stuff. You'll be able to sign up online. You show up that morning at registration, check in. You would go through a tech line, get your car teched, make sure your battery's secured, all your lug nuts are there. At that point, you would start doing what we call a course walk, which is how you learn where the course goes.
Yep.
And you go out there and walk the course. Now, if you're green, what we recommend to people is for the first year, you take what we call a rookie walkthrough. So we've got a rookie chief that will actually lead you through the course and point out what we consider key cones, key points of direction change or positions that you need to be with your car at that point in time.
Man, it's really inviting. When are these events, generally speaking, for somebody like me?
Generally Sunday mornings. Sundays, we open the gates about 7 o'clock. Registration opens at 8, and first car is racing at 9:30 a.m., and we're usually done by 3:30, 4 o'clock in the autocross community.
And we're not racing side by side by other cars. These are timed event races, correct?
Correct. One car gets released basically every 25 seconds, which we've proven to be a very good barrier of entry for people that make mistakes, or some of our very fast cars will hold them up maybe 30, 35 seconds. But with the courses usually being about 60 to 70 seconds a course, you basically got 2 to sometimes 3 cars on course, but there's going to be 25 to 30 seconds between you and them, and you should never cross paths.
So you're not really racing side by side, but there are other cars out there that the drivers are aware of. So you still got that race feel to it.
The interesting part about this is you race down to 1,000th of a second. And it's amazing how much scrutiny you can put on getting 1,000th of a second. It's what format can I take out of the car? Let's take the wipers off the car. I mean, you start just chunking everything off the car that you may not need. Now, depending on what class you're in, some of that stuff you can't do, but you'll see some of the cars prepared out there. We've got Anthony Espinoza. He was running before I became a member 21 years ago. Still drives the same car today, but it's 84 Mustang that's making like 680 at the wheels. Runs 16 by 12 slicks all the way around it. It is a massive, amazing machine, but it's completely purpose-built. And then you've got a guy that's running a Hyundai Genesis right beside him that's completely stock. And they're both having a time of their life. You go play with the car the way it's intended.
So, Richard, I wouldn't feel comfortable going out there alone by myself on my first pass across the course. Is it okay to bring somebody like you next to me to kind of guide me through and show me how to do it?
So we have instructors that we provide, and that's how it was done until COVID happened. COVID has kind of changed our game plan a little bit, and right now we're suspending the actual instructors riding with you. So we'll walk pre-course, we'll go through, we'll show you that, and then we'll stand outside the car, watch your run, come back, and we'll critique it from the outside. As all the COVID stuff lightens up, we'll be back to doing it as soon as we can.
How much does it cost me to do one of these Sunday autocross?
$35. Once you become a member, it's $35.
Oh, that's nothing. It's cheap. You spend more on tires than you will anything else.
Yeah, you're going to get 4 to 5 minutes of driving your car at the limit for that $35.
Is it a first gear course?
Great bang for the buck. Go ahead.
Is it a first gear course?
Most courses are set up to be second gear. If you're in most cars, manual specifically, you get to second gear and you leave it.
Okay.
So shift out of first, get to second. If you make a mistake, you may have to go back down to first, but usually it's second gear. The rules are written so that our top speed is highway speeds. Well, in Texas, we're blessed with very high speed limits, unlike some other states that are still at 55. So we have courses that you will see in a prepared car. You would see 70, 75 mile an hour in a parking lot. So they get down to business and get things done.
Man, this sounds like so much fun.
It does.
Yeah. Maybe one of these Sundays we'll have to come down there and have the in-wheel time team there. Mars can take his Ram pickup truck.
Yeah.
Don can take the Corvette.
And Conrad will take the BG van.
Well, Conrad's got the car that I'd want to drive, so bring out the olds.
Yeah, the Rally O's.
And then the Ram would beat up on the Corvette as always, right? So,
yeah, there you go.
Yeah, Angela and I had done some Solo 2 years ago in a parking lot up in Oklahoma City, and it was a hoot. It was absolutely a blast, and one of them was my Oldsmobile company car. I tore the tires up on it, yeah. Well, it takes a little prep. It's not just a matter of getting there and going on the track. You really have to do some tire pressure adjustments and make sure you got things set up correctly, either before you get there or once you get there. Otherwise, you can kind of roll the edge of a tire pretty quickly.
So, Richard, is there somebody there to help me as far as tire pressures are concerned? Hey, Don,
we've got rookie chiefs that will be there to assist with all that. We've got compressors. We've got tire gauges. We're set up to make things work for you. And the general rule is go 5 PSI above what you would on the street. That's a really good starting point. So if you're running 32, show up, run 37, and you can start dialing in your tire pressures from there.
Yeah. Otherwise, that sharp edge you have on the side of your tires, it gets real rounded off, and you kind of scrub a lot of rubber off of them real fast.
Yeah, but I assume that I don't have to buy special tires for my car to go and do this.
Special tires are not required, but when you run against somebody that is on special tires, you will want them because inherently as humans, we are competitive, right? So the next guy is going to have a set of tires. Let's just say he's on one of the sets of the Bridgestones or the RE71 tire. It's what we call your extreme summer performance. It is amazing the difference you see in an extreme summer performance versus a normal all-season tire. On a 60-second course, they can make up a second and a half to 2 seconds time.
Oh, my.
And you think you're falling behind, but really it is all pure tire technology. That contact with the road is absolutely key. You move up to what we call a Hoosier, a true race tire. Hoosier, a true race tire in autocross, you're going to pick up 3, maybe 4 seconds, depending on your skill set to be able to push that tire. But your dollar figure is expanded greatly as well. You've gone from $100 a tire to $250 to $300 a tire, and they last half as long.
And does that? Really? Does that also change your class? Because does your class change if you run a pure race tire?
Correct. So we've got basically your street tire classes and then your race tire classes.
So the trick is, Don, is to find a class that nobody else is running in, and you win your class.
So the trick is to wear all the tread off of these tires and just run them as slicks. Okay.
Well, that might not pass spec.
Well,
there are some people that actually do shave tires. That's kind of against my religion because that's giving up tread that I could be out there driving on. So I refuse to do that.
Don shaves his legs, so he's used to
it. Yeah. Right? Whatever works for you, man.
Yeah, exactly.
So you talk about taking some weight off. That's Don's concept.
Exactly.
So give me an example of a course that maybe you've got coming up here in the next few weeks. What parking lot would you have an event at?
So June 20th, we will be at Gulf Greyhound Park again. So if you've been to Gulf Greyhound, as you pull in through the gates, if you look left, that entire left side section is ours. And I want to say it's 1,200 yards by 1,500 yards of parking lot, and there's only 9 fixed poles in the area. So we lay our courses out. We've got safety stewards. We got guidelines on how close we can be in direction towards the poles. To make sure that everybody's safe and goes home in the car they drove to the track.
So, I think what I would like to do for a comfort level is to come out there, not competitively, just come out there, see how it works, sit in on a class, maybe have you drive around in your car, whatever you bring out there, that you could show me the ropes. I could get a feel for the whole thing. Can I do that?
Absolutely. We can get that set up. That's not a problem. And anyone else that's listening that maybe wants to do that, drop us an email at houscca.com. They got a contact screen on there. Drop us an email if you need some of that. It's going to be a little bit tough during COVID right now because we've got some pretty tight guidelines on keeping our membership safe. But as things ease up, absolutely, we can get you into a car, get you into one of our cars and see what's going on. During non-COVID, we also provide you helmets too, so you don't have to buy a helmet. They are loaners. We do clean them. We do Febreze them, but it is a loaner. So until people are sure it's something they want to continue doing, we don't want to see people going out spending a bunch of money for something that they may not like, because some people just don't like it.
Well, I have an open face helmet. Would that suffice or no?
No,
yes,
we want a face on your helmet because we don't want to look at yours.
No, but I mean, I have a motorcycle helmet, an open face motorcycle helmet. Would that work?
Motorcycle helmets worked until I think about 3 years ago. I need to go back and check the rules and make sure on that. But the motorcycle helmets, I believe, have been bumped out. So it is an automotive helmet. So an SA 2015, 2020 has come out next October.
Okay.
So
all right. Well,
we can get you hooked up.
Richard, thanks so much. It's houscca.com. Okay.
Yep.
Well, yeah, we've posted a link up on our Facebook page as well, so anybody, you can just go click on that link and get to it.
Richard, we love you. Thanks so much for setting this up and joining us today. We really appreciate it.
Not a problem.
All right. We'll talk to you soon. Richard Tomlin, he is the SCCA Regional Executive, and it's always great to talk to him. He also owns a company called Apex Motor Works.
Mm-hmm. They build and customize cars to do exactly this.
Yeah.
You know, you should see some of his online stuff. The tube and roll cage work they do is remarkable. You know, so and they do a lot of other stuff. And then Richard's got some fun toys as well.
I'll bet he does. All right, just ahead, Mike Out of This World Mars reviews the Nissan Armada massive SUV. And a reminder to please join us each and every Saturday for our live show, 10 a.m. to noon on Facebook and YouTube, and catch our podcasts on your favorite podcast channel. Don't forget, InWheelTime.com, too. In Wheel Time continues after a quick break, but I'm not ready to take that break yet because guess what? I was so wrapped up in all of the things that I was doing to prepare for Richard.
You forgot something.
Yeah, I forgot to actually prepare for the commercial that we're going to play now.
See,
man, I love I once sat for 3 hours in the cold rain to watch her soccer team lose by 18 goals.
I love my kids so much, I once used a tube to suck snot out of her stuffed nose at 3 a.m.
You win.
Love your kids? Love them enough to make sure they're in the right car seat. From toddlers to tweens, visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat to find the right seat for their age and size. Keep them safe. Visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
A social distancing tip.
While the CDC urges you to avoid close contact, like hugging or shaking hands, there are other non-physical ways to say hello. Wave, wink, use sign language, salute, smile, give the peace sign, throw up an air high five, do jazz hands. Remember, stay a minimum of 6 feet or 2 arms length away from others and stay home if you can. For more info, visit coronavirus.gov.
Let's all do our part because we're all #alone together. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Hey, thanks for joining us for today's In Wheel Time Car Show. Time now for the new Car Showroom. We have this each hour of our 2-hour program, and we kind of rotate, Mr. Mars and I, as far as who goes first. This week he goes first, and he's got the Nissan Armada SUV, big honkin' body-on-frame SUV.
Big is the key word here. Now, this is a full-size SUV. The 2020 Nissan Armada, we had the Platinum. We had it in the 4-wheel drive. It comes as a rear-wheel drive. And there's actually 4 trim levels. You get the SV, the SL, the Platinum. And then there's a Platinum Reserve that steps up on top of the Platinum model. Get it up to 8 passengers, depending on how you configure the interior. And it's really a big, upright, tall-setting, muscular-looking vehicle. Got a big blunt nose up front with automatic headlights, fog lights. We've got dark chrome grille and door handles and the running boards. Got a really nice color combination going with all that. Lighted power side mirrors with the puddle lamps that are real cool whenever it's dark outside. Wife will appreciate those. Roof rails, got some side steps on it, like I say, that are the dark chrome. Had the power lift gate, because this is a big vehicle. That is a big lift gate back there. Power moonroof. We were rolling on some 22-inch optional wheels. 18s are standard, 20s, but with the platinum level, you can actually step up to a 22.
And how did it ride?
I was very surprised. It ran really well on the 22s.
Yeah,
usually
sometimes
the 22s
are a little stiff.
Yeah, because of the rubber band tires on them. But this, you couldn't tell it was on it. It was more like being on the 18s or the 20s. It was really a nice ride. And on the interior, we had the two-tone leather seating surfaces, had captain chair package. So we had the captain's chairs in the second row with the console, just like we did up front. Had an 8-inch center stack monitor where we had the Nissan Connect feature, had the family entertainment is where you're going to find all that. So we had two 8-inch monitors that are mounted on the back of the headrest of the front seats. Came with wireless headphones, had a HDMI input, which I'm not really sure what you would use that for. USB I could see, but I'm not sure why you would have an additional HDMI. But either way, it's there.
Conrad has his movies that he likes to play that we can't talk about. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, you'd have to have a player for that and all that. That's the reason really what I was getting into. So, and it came with a 13-speaker Bose audio system, and it had 5 USB ports in this vehicle.
5?
Some of them are getting down to where they've only got 1, but this one had 5, which I thought was wonderful, particularly when you start figuring in the back seat. And so up under the hood, to make this thing run, we had a 5.6-liter V8 engine. Now, this is the engine, 390 horsepower, 394 pound-feet of torque with a 7-speed automatic transmission behind it. Now, packaged like this, it'll tow 8,500 pounds, which is going to take care of most of your RVs and things. Now, the EPA says you should be looking for about 13 in the city, and you're looking at about 18 out on the highway. And combined, you're looking at about 15 miles per gallon. And the week that I had it, I was closer to 14 than I was to 15 by a long ways. But that's really what I liked about it. It was strong V8 power. Gives you a real confidence-inspiring driving experience because you feel like you're in control of your vehicle and you're in control on the road. Because part of this is because it's heavy. It is a big vehicle rolling on those 22-inch wheels. And like I said, you're not giving up any ride by being on the 22s instead of the 20s. So it was, but that feels those wheel wells, and it's really a nice-looking combination. Now, if you're looking for something that you're going to compare this to, you're probably going to be looking at the Chevy Tahoe that starts at $49,000, quickly gets up to $62,700 plus. Get the GMC Yukon, one of the GM twins, at $50,600, goes on up to the $67,700. A Ford Expedition, it starts at $52,810 and goes way up past $70,000. The Toyota Sequoia, $49,980. So they're all kind of right there in that ballpark, $49,000, $50,000 to start with. But you can get a base SV model Nissan Armada for $47,100. You can do that. But the base Platinum, next to the top level, it starts at $63,530. Now, the MSRP as tested for the Platinum Edition Nissan Armada four-wheel drive vehicle that we were driving as tested was $71,335,000. But again, had lots of nice little features that were added onto it. And it was almost, I'd like to see what the Platinum Reserve, see when you step up to that next level, the top of the level, you're really getting into some luxury touches. I'd like to see what that sets up like as compared to this one, because I can't imagine what else you would add.
Well, speaking of seeing, we're having a little bit of video difficulty.
I see that.
We're going to try to fix that. And in the meantime, we're going to take a quick break. But we'd like to remind you to be sure and check out our podcasts on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, iHeart Podcast, TuneIn, Google Podcast, Podcast Addict, and on and on and on and on. You can also catch our video show, what it is, on Facebook.com/InWheelTime and on YouTube/InWheelTime. Quick break now. Right back with more of In Wheel Time after this.
911, what's your emergency?
God, there's a train that just hit a car.
Sir, what is your location? Look around for a street sign, sir.
It's 8th and Orchard. 8th and Orchard.
Okay, very good. 8th and Orchard. Sir, help is on the way.
Why would he do that? The train still doesn't stop. You have to get there now.
At a railway crossing, even if the engineer sees you and hits the brakes, it can take a mile for the train to stop. And for you, that's too late. Stop. Trains can't. Paid for by NHTSA.
Yes, we know that our video feed is all jacked up, and we're trying to fix it. But in the meantime and in between time, We do have today's car calendar and the racing calendar. What would you like to start with?
Well, let's start with the car calendar. Otto's Barbecue is still on hold.
Then why are we even talking about it?
Well, because we still want to support Otto's Barbecue. If you want to go out on a Saturday night and go there to eat, you're welcome to, but it won't be.
But there's no cars there.
Well, if enough
it's
people
go there.
Only. If enough people go there. Actually, they are open to go in. We were in when we were there the other day.
Yeah, but we didn't have all the restrictions then. Whatever.
So, tonight at 5 p.m. is Coffee and Cars in Beaumont over at the Cerratos Cafe off of East Tex Freeway. Also tonight is Barbecue and Music.
Wait a minute. In Beaumont, the East Tex Freeway.
That's the Highway 69, 287 North.
Because
it is called East Tex Freeway.
The East Tex Freeway here is different, I think.
Correct, but this is Beaumont, over there near Neaterville.
Everything's different over there.
Everything's different. Okay. And then Cars, Barbecue, and Music tonight in Katy as well, and that's going to start at 5 p.m. The Kemah Car Meet starts at 6 p.m. down in Kemah, and then at Southland Bar and Grill on Stockland Road in Katy. Starts at 5. Tomorrow is the Houston SCCA Autocross event down at Gulf Greyhound Park.
It's not down.
No, I'm sorry, that was last week. My fault. I forgot to delete that out. Well, I knew we were having Richard on, so I wanted to impress Richard, telling him we were going to be there.
Yeah.
Tomorrow is the HPD Houston Performance Driving Twin Peaks meet up in Shenandoah, up in the Woodlands, and it's Troy Dixon's 43rd birthday, and he says if you want to bring a gift, bring a bottle of Maker's Mark.
Oh, good God.
At least
did he actually say that?
At least he didn't ask for Woodford.
Yes, he did.
Woodford. He actually said that.
Yes. And then also tomorrow night is Sunday night at Freddy's 1960 in Eldridge, and that's just one of the ongoing weekend shows, and that starts at 6 p.m. at Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers on FM 1960. And then tomorrow morning is Jeeps and Java in Santa Fe.
Jeeps and Java.
Jeeps and Java. And then racing stuff, there's always some kind of racing going on.
But wait a minute. No. There's a big racing event next Saturday.
Correct. And that is NASCAR-sponsored Texas Short Track Racing Series.
It's actually sponsored by Advance Auto Parts, but whatever.
NASCAR-sanctioned, I apologize.
Yeah.
NASCAR-sanctioned, sponsored by Advance Auto Parts at Houston Motorsports Park. Gina Child-Knowles, friend of the show, is the promoter for all of that, and it is going to be their first race of the year as everything kind of got set back because of COVID. It's going to be a hoot. You and I are going to be there. Are you still going to be the finish line
I don't know.
announcer?
I haven't talked to Gina about that.
I'm sure she'd like to have you. You are a celebrity, Don.
Oh.
You're a celebrity in your own mind.
Exactly. It's all about me.
Houston.
They'll make me have to take my shirt off again.
NHRA is not coming back to Houston until October. NASCAR is going to be running tomorrow at Homestead and then next weekend in Talladega.
I just have a problem wrapping my head around a NASCAR race in Miami.
They've run Homestead for years.
I know they have. I just getting my head around because I think of Miami, I think of the beach.
Oh well, yeah, IRL, yeah. Lots of other stuff going on, and IMSA starts July 4th, and they're going to be back at Daytona. So that's where all the road racing is. And actually, I believe one of our friends may be running there, who's going to be on the show a little bit later.
Who?
John Rawson.
John Rawson.
Oh yeah. Oh, we're going to have him from.
Right
yes,
now.
yeah. We're going to. He's down there now. We're going to talk to him here in just a little bit. Is that it?
That's
you
it.
Done? Okay.
I'm done.
Hey, if you'd like to share your car-related info, and all you need to do is send it to info@nwheeltime.com. Actually, you can send anything you want to info@nwheeltime.
Well,
almost
not go that way.
Because Mr. Mars is the filter on that, and he has told me some of the things that you do send. So I would encourage more of that to fill up the mailbox.
Don't invite George Skelton to send too much stuff. He's pretty interesting.
I love George.
He sends some of the best stuff, though.
He sends some funny stuff. Stuff you can share. There are, okay. We have John.
John's ready to go? Okay, well, we're going to take a quick break. And coming up next, we're going to take you live to Daytona. Don't want to miss it. Hey, thanks for checking us out. Don Armstrong saying be sure and join us live every Saturday, 10 a.m. to 12 noon Central Time on YouTube, Facebook, and InWheelTime.com. Our podcasts are also available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, iHeart Podcast, TuneIn, Google Podcast, and Podcast Addict. We'll see you next time.